It's been a minute since we watched golf, and especially a minute since we watched Scottie Scheffler. And I forget how much I hate his swing.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the second best podcast in the world. Is that aggressive? I don't care. I said it, and I'm going to stick to it. I'm Geremy Davis, former NFL player and host of Golf and Gospel. Golf and Gospel is a platform where I golf against your favorite professional athletes, businessmen, professionals, friends, as we share the good news in regards to Jesus Christ. Who's my co-host right here? Obviously, y'all know who he is, the best PT in all of the Southwest. At first, it was just Arizona. Now we're starting to grow out to the Southwest, dog. Former Nebraska Cornhusker golfer, Nate Wong. Now, guys, Christmas is around the corner, and the best gift for golfers is obviously keeping them grooves clean. And how do you do that? Using the Caddy Splash golf brush, man. And if you want one of those, man, just check the link tree in the description or go to caddysplash.com. Use the discount code GolfAndGospel10 and start hitting pro-like shots. Also, guys, a lot of you sitting there a little dehydrated, you're cramping, you're pulling your soft tissue muscles, man. Nate knows all about that, so you go see him to prevent that. But another way to prevent yourself from pulling muscles and cramping, gotta stay hydrated, man. The best way to stay hydrated is with Strokes Gain Hydration, man. They got flavors from watermelon, lemon, as well as, the new orange. Duh. If you want to try that out, go to the link tree in the description, or again, go to Strokes Gain Hydration, type in the discount code GolfAndGospel10, and lock in and stay hydrated. Guys, we want to say thank you to all 127 subscribers on YouTube. We went up 2 more, Nate. It's just slowly growing, bro. We just nickeling down. Hopefully one of these episodes, we're going to throw a Hail Mary, get a big play, get like 100 in just one episode. But right now, we're grateful for those 2 more. And 26 Spotify followers, which is the one we lost. We just got one back.
There we go. Let's go.
We got sacked, and we got that yard back. So now we got a manageable third down we can do right here, man. So, again, guys, we want to thank all you guys. And I'm not just saying that as a formality. Me and Nate really enjoy what we're doing with Golf and Gospel Podcast, talking about golf, obviously sharing the gospel. And you guys have been a huge help. So, again, please like and subscribe, share with your friends. And, Nate, let's jump into it, man. Starting off with the PGA, the Heroes World Challenge. Hideki Matsuyama, man, coming in clutch. But Alex Noren gave him a really good fight, man. Now, obviously, if we remember Alex Noren, he ended up making it to the final pairing group with Scottie Scheffler at the PGA Championship. So he's familiar with playing in the final group, man. Yeah, he's familiar with playing in the final group, man. But overall, what are your thoughts in regards to the Hero World Challenge this weekend?
I have several thoughts, okay? So It's been a minute since we watched golf, and especially a minute since we watched Scottie Scheffler. And I forget how much I hate his swing. So, obviously, he hits the ball well. No question about it.
Ball strike is incredible.
But, man, it's like you see, especially I was watching this morning, you see like good swings. And then you see Scottie, you're like, what was that? Who let this amateur into the Hero World Cup Challenge?
I would love to see him and his golf coach have like a conversation. You're not going to change anything about his swing because
why would you? Yeah,
he's very efficient with it and he's very productive with it, but it's not one to study at all.
Yeah. Don't be like Victor and Tinker. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's a bad golfer. The swing is just, if you're like a traditional golf guy, like, you obviously you like the product, right? But like, it's like, I hate the footwork. Hey, if I was his coach though, zero changes.
We're not changing.
Zero changes.
Absolutely.
Anyways, that's one of my thoughts. And then the other thing too, what I was thinking is like, I think this tournament and it's like this season as well, kind of reinforces the importance of iron play, because Hideki on Sunday was unbelievable with his iron play. The announcer was saying like, man, if he lets go with one hand, it's going to go to 9 feet. If he hangs on to it with 2, he has a chance of going in.
I love that, bro, because he always looks like flustered. It's like, what are you upset for, bro? I would take that shot. I mean, maybe he's a bit of a perfectionist, or obviously, he has an envision of what that shot was supposed to do, and if it doesn't match that what he envisioned,
or how it's supposed to feel,
and it's like, bro, like, that's a birdie putt. What are we talking about right now? If
I
do that, I shanked it right or I pulled it left.
Yeah. He did let go of his club a lot today. I didn't think so. But man, his iron game was unbelievable. And then like going even like before the playoff hole, and like Sepp Straka was up by like 3.
He was up. Well, this
at
is
like
the
the
difference.
turn.
Yeah, this is the difference that helped Hideki climb. Is he had the only eagle on hole 10, and Sepp was up by 2 strokes. So when Hideki made that eagle,
Oh, that was like right around. Yeah.
yeah. So when they got to the turn, Hideki took
Yeah, I
over. But
kind of
continue.
like, well,
yeah.
dude, yeah. But his iron game was like, dude, he was within 5 feet. It felt like every time, and then the playoff hole was like,
threw a dart.
dude, he threw a dart. Like Alex Noren hit a great shot, and you're like, that's a look. And then Hideki hits it to like, and Alex Noren was like, I gotta make this. I gotta make this. But
I know. And I'm happy for Alex Noren too, because I mean, obviously a lot of people role model was Tiger, and he emphasized that at his press conference interview prior to the tournament. So it's good that he had a showing like that, because I don't think Alex Noren really plays in the Hero World Challenge because he's never ranked, that high, and he was out for a long time due to the hamstring. So to come here and play like that and impress, obviously Tiger, show the PGA world what he is capable of doing against the top 20, well, call it top 16 with those 4 invites in the world, was very, very promising. And I hope that continues in the next year, because like before then, like I wasn't too familiar with Alex Noren game until again that PGA Championship. So now to see him do it here, and this time beat Scottie technically, was very,
he was
very impressive. Yes, very, very impressive.
The other thing I wanted to say too is like, I hope, because like JJ Spawn, I was afraid he's gonna be like a not Billy Horschel, because he's still he played well this weekend, and he's still like a pretty relevant golfer. But like
for sure,
I just feel like there's a few guys, and I'm like, a lot of the names escape me, but like Charles Schwartzel is a good example where they like win a major and they drop off. Brian Harmon is, I guess, another one off the top of my head. Just win a major, and then it's like we don't see anything from them. I kind of get the feeling, and we have this. We need more time, but I don't think that's going to be JJ Spawn. Like he did well at the Ryder Cup. I hope not too. Yeah, and in the other majors, he still did okay.
He was relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, he did okay. Like the beginning of the year at Sawgrass, and then this tournament. Lost to Rory. In this tournament, I thought he played pretty solid. Short game was on point. I mean, that's what he's always good at. But
I agree. And
I kind of just hope.
Yeah, so remember he duked it out with Justin Rose at the FedEx St. Jude Championship.
Oh yeah, that's right. In the playoffs. So,
So he's been staying relevant due to his golf game, which is really good.
Yeah. So my prediction for him isn't that, but like I just hope he stays relevant, kind of unlike like the Brian Harmons. Harmon might bounce back this year. He won.
Like Ricky
he
Fowler
won an elevated. Or Ricky Fowler. I mean, I don't want to hate on Brian Harmon because he won an elevated event this year.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just like, I hate it when there's like a guy that wins a major and then they just kind of do nothing the rest of their career. I want them to compete, and it just seems like JJ. It's cool because I feel like he like flipped the switch this year, and he's like, I can do this, and he said it in interviews. I think even on McAfee, like he flipped the switch and he's like, I can do this. I belong here, and played well at the Ryder Cup, played well in the playoffs, played well this weekend.
Yeah, that's a great take, bro, and I hope again. A San Diego State alum, obviously Xander, man. He's probably like, man, let's put San Diego on the map, man. Let's keep on doing this, man, which is super awesome. But I'm impressed with Hideki, man. It was a great win, as well as like I said, I'm impressed with Alex Noren, because that leaderboard just consistently kept changing. No one can like fully hold on for it for a long time. I think at one point I hit you up. Justin Rose had the lead, Cam Young had the lead, Scottie had the lead, Sepp Straka had the lead, and then they finally got to a playoff, man. This was really, really good golf, man. So shout out to Hideki Matsuyama winning the Hero World Challenge for his second time as he played in it. I will say this, man. Obviously, we got to talk about number one world golfer, Scottie Scheffler. Again, his swing is ugly, but super efficient, man. And he looked vintage, but for him, too many bogeys on day 4. He bogeyed hole 4, 11, and 12. And the previous day, he also accumulated 3 bogeys, man. So I forgot which hole. I don't know, it was day 3 or day 4. Off the tee, he went like way, way left on a par 5, too. And obviously for these tour pros, man, par 5 is like where you want to have to take advantage of maybe some eagles, some birdies. And I think Scottie let one slip away. But it's just crazy because when you're playing against Scottie, I need him to mess up. It's hard just to beat him outright. It's like I need him to mess up. And he doesn't too many. He rarely does, right?
Yeah.
And this tournament he showed that he was a little bit human, which, I mean, he finished, T4 or something like that, which is still solid. But we always kind of like count that as like, that's a bad day for Scottie, bro. T4, what are you doing?
Yeah, T4.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I'm like, T4 is still solid. Like, Only time I really knocked him per se is when he got a T25 at Waste Management last year. That was like one of his worst finishes. But outside of that, like the year before he got a win, and when he was getting like top 5, top 10, and stuff like that, for any other golfer, that's a good year. But for Scottie, it's like there's certain expectations, bro. This T4 is not good enough. But I think he still plays solid for obviously who he is as world number one. And I think, again, it can be another scary season for him. Obviously, if he limits his mistakes like he typically does. But we saw him probably trying to kick a little bit of the rust off since the Ryder Cup. I think it's his first tournament back. Obviously, a lot of these other guys play like in the Bay Current. And some guys, some of these guys playing in the DP World Tour. Scottie took all this time just to be with his family, stayed in Texas. So this is his first one back. And for it being his first one back, a T4 is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, Nate, I want to talk about these two golfers here. I picked one and you picked one. I picked Jordan Spieth. He got second to last. You picked Chris Gardner. He got last place, man. What are some things you've seen with these two golfers, man? I mean, because it was pretty sad.
I didn't really watch a lot of Chris Gardner, but man,
he probably wasn't featuring him.
Dude, what a bad weekend for me. I picked Chris Gardner
and
Andrew Novak, and
I think you picked Sam Burns, and I think you picked Sam Burns, and you said you're upset that I didn't pick Novak.
Oh shoot, I picked Sam Burns.
All right.
For some reason, I was all like, in my head when I was watching, I was all like, I picked Novak, and at one point he was second to last, and but thankfully Novak had a decent Sunday, and I think he finished like 8th or 16th or something like that. Yeah, dude, what a bad weekend for us, bro.
Yeah, I mean
it's hard those.
Oh yeah, when it's just 20, it's super tough. But I mean, just Rose did solid.
Yeah, and the stats, like you can't, we're not gonna like use stats for this because it's like like they've been on a break for a while. We have no idea what their trends are nowadays. Not that we do in this middle of the seasons, but
it's almost like Hero World Challenge, is almost like an all-star game.
Yeah, like you have no idea.
Just get the best players and let's just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? But I know for Chris Gardner, like I said, my reason why I never pick him is because I think he's only good when it comes to links golf. That's the only time I believe he plays well. Chris Gardner had 8 bogeys this weekend and 5 double bogeys. Barely made it to par. A lot of times he was the only golfer over par when it came to the final round of each day. He finally got even and stuff like that. But yeah, link style golf is his style of golf, man. And obviously we'll talk about this in a few with Wyndham Clark talking about the conditions. I don't know if that played a part in Chris Gardner not being able to hit well. Obviously the grass is very different when it comes to playing in Scotland and in Europe and stuff versus playing on this Bermuda because it's more fescue and stuff and over there when they play and maybe that's where he's more dominant. But yeah, Chris got up a lot of mistakes, but that could maybe be due to conditions of the course as Wyndham had spoken about. And then Jordan Spieth, not one day under 70, shot 70 every single time, couldn't touch 60, bro. Which now just. For the homie Noah Reed's probably disappointed, but also for me, I mean, I'm projecting him to win the PGA Championship. I think, obviously, when we get to that week, my prediction will change dramatically. But I just miss old Spieth.
Or maybe
man.
not.
Or maybe not.
Wow, what if this is just like a whatever? I guess see where my game's at, see what I need to work on.
It could be because there's no cut, so there's no true. Yeah, like I said, it's an all-star game. So I mean,
it really is.
But just because of the skill level at this tournament, I wanted to see him compete against those guys. Unlike when he got second at it was the Byron Nelson when Scottie shot like 30 under, and I think Spieth went 19 under, but the field wasn't that strong. But I want to see him compete against a strong field and be able to keep up with those guys. So that's more so where I'm going with when it comes to Jordan Spieth, man. Did you have anything to say between those two, or you think are you set from there?
No, it just really hurt. Come on, Chris. I was pretty confident too. So
I would say as soon as we get to the Genesis Scottish, Chris Gardner will be on my radar. But I want to move over to Wyndham Clark, finish at a T8, which is pretty solid, middle of the pack. I guess the top of the middle of the pack per se. But he was in the headlines not for how he played necessarily, but for criticizing Tiger Woods' golf course. This is what he said. Co-leader Wyndham Clark sounded off on the course conditions at Tiger Woods' Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas. Do you want me to be politically correct and answer this? It's not in good shape. You're always chipping into the grain. There's a lot of chips that are up and over, so you have to chip up. And you're coming from really bad lies in Bermuda, and you have to hit up, and there's just very little margin for error. Nate, when you saw Wyndham Clark say this quote, what came to your mind?
I mean, like, you can't play in bad conditions. Like,
are you a tour pro?
Yeah, like, I get it. Like, you play like nice courses all the time that are in pristine shape, But it's like, dude, you can't have a little bit of it's not perfect.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Wyndham is just becoming harder and harder to root for. It's just,
yeah.
I don't know. And it's like, dude, you're doing this to yourself, man. Like, why do you say that? Like,
self-inflicted.
Yeah, like, just don't say that. Just especially as someone as beloved as Tiger, and you're gonna like comment on his tournament and stuff like that.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. See, I look at it. I look at it both ways because, like I said, unfortunately, Wyndham has done a lot of stuff to himself, which has caused us to criticize him in a negative light because it's self-inflicted. Like, obviously, breaking the tee box marker, breaking the lockers in the U.S. Open, throwing your club, your driver at the T-Mobile sign. Like, those are self-inflicted things that you're doing. However, when it comes to giving an opinion on the course, I said this. If they would have asked Scottie, Xander, Ludwig, Victor that question, and they answered it the same way, I don't think we would have been as harsh on them because those are very likable guys. But because of Wyndham and the hole he's dug himself, it's like we don't like anything he says almost at this point. I mean, yeah, go ahead. What was you gonna say?
I was saying, like, for sure. I just don't think Scottie would have said something like that, though. Like, I
think they all would have respected Tiger for sure.
Well, yeah, and like, just remember, like, when Scottie and like there were several other guys that talked about like mud balls at the PGA Championship, and they're just kind of like, this is the hand you're dealt, and like, none of them were. I mean, maybe Rory. I think Rory might have said something, because like Rory is just like the kind of he's just kind of in his ivory tower kind of guy,
Yeah.
But like a lot of these golfers, rightfully so, had the right to be angry with the mud balls, but they just kind of bit their tongue, and they said like a good like. What kind of answer if like a quarterback throws a bunch of picks and gets sacked a bunch? Like if he's just like, well, my O-line stinks. You don't want that. You want a quarterback that's going to be like, yeah. And that's, I mean, there is, granted, you're an independent contractor. You don't like represent a team, but you still want to be like that good podium guy. Yeah. You still want to be respectful to people. And it's not, it's, I don't know, part of me is like, it's cool if you're like a kind of like a punk, like an outlaw, kind of like a, I don't care, like a Cam Smith.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like he's just kind of like disrespectful almost for the sake of being disrespectful, not for the sake of being cool. Like, like a musician would have been,
Right.
But
no, I agree, bro. And like I said, another thing that kind of just rubs me wrong about Wyndham Clark is just like, because respectfully, he got out the mud. He grinded. He got to where he was, won a major. But it's like as soon as he got at the pinnacle of like his skill set, got really boastful, a little bit cocky and stuff like that. Like I remember the comment he made, I think it was last year, about how like, I don't know if he was saying we should cut down he tried to cut off something. I can't remember what it specifically was. I don't know if it was like
field size or something.
Or the field size. Yeah, bro. And it was like, bro, last year you wouldn't have been inside this cut line. So why are you speaking like this now? And it's just like, he just rubs people wrong a lot. However, like, I wasn't necessarily upset at the comment he made because he's entitled to his opinion. However, I think we're just more upset because it's Wyndham Clark. And I don't know how he can get back in good graces with fans. And I don't know if he wants to. But I think there's a lot of things that he needs to try and get right. But like you said, it's not a team sport. He's his own individual player. He can be an a-hole, be a terrible guy if he wants to, and get top five. And plays well. Who cares? Who cares, right? Because like obviously in like team sports, if you're bad for we'll trade you right now or we'll cut you.
Yeah.
And now
you have to represent the team. Yeah.
Yes, but here's like, well, I can't get cut. It's all based off my play. So go say what you want to say.
I also think it's like the way he said it too. Like he's like, "Do you want to be politically correct?" And like, because I feel like Phil has pointed out things about courses and stuff like that, and it's cool when he does it. Yeah, no, but he does it, and it's not like, Phil. It's more like, oh, that is something like challenging. But like, if Wyndham would have said it like, oh, this poses a challenge, like it's Bermuda, it's always kind of grainy. If he would have
Yeah.
said it like that, it's kind of like more or less complaining, but it's just like,
Of course,
but it's
not
more
in good
like
condition. Yeah.
yeah. It's more like this presents a challenge versus like, dude, be up to my standard. Like he kind of said it like, come up to my standard instead of like, this is a new challenge that I have to overcome, like mud balls or whatever, you know.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, man. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think about this quote from Wyndham Clark. And again, please like and subscribe. Let's move over to the DP World Tour. Shout out to Ramses Nagar Peterson for winning. Earns himself a spot in the Masters after winning this. But, Nate, we got to be honest. Cam Smith listens to Golf and Gospel Podcast. He listens. He heard what he said, and he lived up to the challenge, bro. Ended up getting solo second, but unfortunately, 3-putted for a bogey on the last hole to force the playoff against Ramses, but unfortunately pushed it right past 18, got a solo second. But Nate, what do you think for Cam Smith? Do you think this is a start of him getting back to his old self, or do you think this is a bit of an outlier tournament, like maybe he just got lucky this weekend?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. But like part of me is like that like Cam Smith that won the Open it's always there. Like there's always it's always there. So maybe that kind of showed itself, but I don't know if it was just like a peekaboo or if it's just like, oh, this is Cam Smith here to stay.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's him to stay because, like, obviously when he was dominant, what was his strong suit? His putter, right?
Putt, yeah.
And
short
unfortunately,
game,
and unfortunately to 3-putt on the last hole, it's like, where's that dog Cam that would have made that either make the birdie and get out of there, or like we're gonna force this playoff, and then it would have been like, shoot, I got a playoff with Cam Smith. That would have been the fear for Ramses, man. But I'm hoping that he's back to his old self. The only thing that I wish there was one more tournament, because you want to see him do it again one more time, as opposed to seeing him do it one time and then go out to the off season, and now it's like we don't know. So I'm hoping that he can find himself. Yeah, go ahead.
That's so funny because my coach is always like that. He's always like, if we're playing a practice round and I hit a good shot, he'll put another ball down and be like, "Got to validate it. You got to validate it." That's like what we want Cam Smith to do. Is like, you have one good weekend, got to put another ball down, start validating it. But part of me doesn't blame him that much for the 3-putt 18 because he was probably like, I'm going to be aggressive, put this game away, and then just hit it a little too hard. I don't know. Was the putt downhill? I didn't really watch it.
I can't remember the angle, but I know it was for sure makeable. Obviously everything's makeable, but the percentage of him making it were higher. It was a high percentage.
It's a look,
Yeah, absolutely. I think his first approach shot went like to the edge of the green, so he putted once and then got to like that makeable distance for him to make the par, but it just pushed it right past. Now I do appreciate that he hit past the hole. Because I love Russell Henley. When we look at the Ryder Cup, it's like, you shorted that putt, bro.
Oh, yes, dude. Come on,
so
dude.
I do appreciate Cam's running it past the hole at least, man. But I'm really hoping that once we get back to live or whatever the next event is for him, then now we see some resurgence. We see him back in the winner's circle. That's my hope. I hope this isn't the outlier.
I hope
situation.
So too. Yeah.
And I'm respecting this because the field was pretty solid. You had Siwoo Kim, Adam Scott, Jose Ballester, Carlos Ortiz, Caleb Sarant, Minwoo Lee, Roy McIlroy, Abe Ancer, Mark Leishman, David Puig. So, like, he did well against a solid group. Obviously, not better than that 20 that we talked about, the Hero World Challenge. But I'm hopeful for Cam, right? But for y'all who are listening, Cam listened to this podcast. He heard it. Because he was really trying to be encouraged by the gospel, which I hope that he was. But he also heard us critiquing him righteously. We weren't trying to knock him down, but it's like we miss former world number 2. And
yes, dude.
Yeah, and he
like last week was like we dogged on him the most, and then like second place. I had a chance to freaking win.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, I want to read this quote by Roy McIlroy in regards to golf in Australia. He said, "That scene on the first tee was amazing. Then walking up the last, and everyone is still here. I've always said it, but that's the potential this country has to have these really, really big events." Nate, would you like to see the PGA tournament in Australia?
I mean, part of me wants to see more in Arizona, but
That is a fact, bro. That is a fact.
I want to see more PGA Tour events in Arizona. So Rory, shut up. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's funny.
No, I like, but part of me is also like, dude, the PGA I think could have a more international presence like the LPGA because it's not like there's not like an Asian tour in ladies golf. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if like PGA doesn't want to step on some toes. Like, I don't want to step on a lot of DP World Tour toes. I don't want to step on the Asian Tour toes. I don't want to step on Latin America. Is there a PGA Australia for all I know?
I don't think so. I think it's just DP at this point. But that's a good point because, I mean, but LPGA and Lady European Tour, the Let Golf, like
LET,
they still do it. I mean, I'm not sure what their partnership looks like, but I mean, DP and PGA have a partnership, so
yeah, they're buds.
I don't know why not. I mean, we see Liv doing that approach. Liv has a contract with Australia running through 2031. So, like, they're going to still have Liv tournaments out there. But, like, just imagine, like, if you got to always see Scottie play in person, Xander play, Ludwig Oberg, in the combination with Rory, Minwoo Lee, and all these other golfers.
Yeah,
like,
you get Australians. Like, there's good Australians there, you know. We could get Cam Smith back, you know, like.
Yeah, well, he's a Liv golf, so it'd be hard. But that's my thing. Liv does it, so they get to see Cam Smith. They get to see John Rahm. They get to see Bryson. They get to see Brooks. But, like, Australians are, unless they come to America or they go to, obviously, the European swing, they're not going to be able to see Scottie, Xander, Ludwig, Max Homa, and all these other golfers. And with as much praise as Australia gets, it's like PGA Tour, like, make a move. Make a move.
Yeah, the only caution is, like, what if Scottie doesn't want to travel to Australia because he is such a family guy? Like, you know, it's just like it's a hard travel.
You make an elevated event out there.
Yeah, no, it's got to be an elevated event. Like, it's got to be, like, worth it, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's 20 elevated events, right? Like, there's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, they just added an extra one. So, I believe. Because
there's
Trump one, they made a Trump one that's an elevated event, I believe, right?
Oh, really?
I think so. Again, anyone in the comments who's listening, correct me. I believe that was a thing.
Possibly. We all know how much Donald loves golf, so, you know.
Golf. The PGA Tour returned to Donald Trump's National Doral Golf Course to host a signature event at the Miami Championship. So, yeah. That was an additional one. Yeah. You know what's funny? I just thought about this too, Nate, which you made a great point of. I mean, obviously, we'll really have to sit down and literally think about every state, which we're not trying to do that. But I wish Arizona had more than just one golf tour. Tournament, excuse me. Like, obviously, we got Phoenix Open, that's it. But, like, California has
a bunch. Florida has a bunch.
Florida has a bunch. Texas has a bunch. You know, it's just like, bro, like, let's get one more in Arizona, man. I mean, it doesn't have to be obviously the same environment as the Phoenix Open, but I guess the other question.
Yeah, I want it to be classier than Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Now I'm gonna say, where would they have that tournament at? If you had to make an appeal like PGA, I think there should be another tournament in Arizona. You guys should host it. Where should they host it at?
Okay, part of me wants to
don't say Lone Tree. Don't say Lone Tree.
Oh no way, dude! They're gonna shoot 59 there. Like the winning score is gonna be 35 under. It's gonna be They have to build tee boxes for that course. No, my thing is I wish Arizona had a course that was hard enough to host a U.S. Open. Like, how cool would that be?
That would be amazing.
Because like, I don't know. I just don't know if like we could do any of the courses in downtown Phoenix. I feel like a lot of the courses in Arizona are too easy, and like I think a lot of people that come from Florida that play here are like, yeah, it's kind of not that difficult. I don't think Greyhawk's that hard.
But Phoenix Country Club would have had the Champions Tour.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, dude, the Champions Tour guys shoot 20 under. Like, you know, like PGA Tour guys can shoot 28 under, and I kind of want like a course in Arizona to be designed so hard that it's like, all right, -4 is gonna win, or like even par is gonna. Like, how cool would it be if it was? But the thing is, like, they would never do it in Arizona because the U.S. Open is like in May, and like it's way too hot.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah, but like it would be really cool if we could do like something cool. So like then the PGA Championship or the U.S. Open was here, and but I don't know. Did you have a course in mind?
I mean, I think we just need to start off with just a regular tournament. I'm not trying to make a major out here, but no, I was going to suggest the Phoenix Open. I mean, not Phoenix Open, excuse me, the Phoenix Country Club, because, like, who cares? Like, the Byron Nelson, Sky shot
minus
30
30.
under.
Yeah,
So it's like, just to get one, I think the Phoenix Country Club would be a great spot because, again, the Champions Tour was there. I think that, I mean, I'm probably biased because I just love Seville Golf and Country Club, and the LPGA had one there, and it's fan-friendly. I love Seville.
Yeah, but they're gonna shoot minus 30. Yeah,
that's okay though. I'm like, I just want a tournament here. I always have this thing. I know you don't like this course, but I think that one's fan friendly too. I always had this thing about Wigwam too. It's good practice facilities there. Fans can walk around. I think that would be and they always have the College All-American tournament here too at the Wigwam. So
yeah. Dude,
I mean, they're going to shoot low, which is fine. They're going to shoot low, but just to get us out, here and stuff. Yeah.
Part of me almost thinks like Longbow, because the greens at Longbow are already like cement, and like they can just make it more dry and hard, and then just because like then it's really really hard to go low. Like you have to putt perfect. I mean, I think guys are still going to shoot minus, I don't know, 25 at Longbow, but it's.
For sure.
Those greens are cement, and part of me thinks like if it's in the summer, it is a bit of a different game, just because like Arizona is just so dry and hot that it like golf is just way different here than anywhere else. In the dead of summer.
Hey, this year would have been the perfect year to test that out because they're not having that tournament. They're not having the Century. So this would have been the perfect year to like still have the same amount of
West
numbers.
Coast swing.
Just like, you know what, bring an extra one to Arizona. That would have been perfect, dog. I mean, I don't know if the commissioners listen to us right now, but man, it's probably too late now. This season's set. But it's like they should have out here.
Or they could have done like, I don't know why I just popped in my head, but like Desert Mountain or like a Quintero. Like I still, but the thing is like I think the PGA wants it to be like somewhat close to like the city. You know, just because it's easier for them to like drive a ping bus, a Callaway bus, all that stuff there. Yeah. It's easier to move things in and out.
Yeah. Wigwam's not close. I mean, Phoenix Country Club probably be your best.
Wigwam is close enough. I think. Like I think Wigwam's. I think Wigwam. The part of me is like Wigwam just doesn't present enough change between holes. Like.
It's not yet. It's not.
Yeah. Like you kind of want like one hole to be drastically different than the other. Granted, like I guess you can maybe make an argument that like TPC Scottsdale's not like that, but it kind of is. Yo, what if they just did this? One tournament on Stadium course, one tournament on Champions course.
I think they would be bored though, because it's like we're just coming back to the same area. Because like obviously when they go to California, it's like Palm Springs, San Diego. So it's like. It almost looks like two different places, but you know you're in the same state. When it comes to Texas, obviously you got tournaments in Houston, and then in Dallas.
Is Valero in Dallas?
I think so. Oh yeah, I think it is. Cause I was also thinking about the Chevron in my head. But yeah, Houston, Dallas, and then is there one in San Antonio as well?
I don't know. There's several. I can't.
But my whole
wasn't
thing
the Byron
is
Nelson also in Dallas though?
I think that was.
Because that was in Texas.
Yeah, I know it was in Texas.
And then the one that Brian Harmon won, wasn't the one that Brian Harmon won also in Texas?
Yeah, they were all in Texas. But let me see. I thought Byron Nelson was in Houston.
I think it's just biased because the PGA of Americas is in Texas. So they're like, let's just have it in our backyard.
Right. Byron Nelson golf tournament here. Dang, click. McKinney, Texas. So what was that considered? Is that considered Dallas? That is considered, as I zoom out, Plano. Yeah, it's like North Dallas pretty much.
Dude, that's like the same thing. It's like having it in Scottsdale versus you know what would be cool is like what would be cool is there was that tour event in Tucson where it was Tucson International. It was like Tiger Woods after his car accident came back and went and played. It's not there anymore. Yeah. I just don't know if Tucson is that big of a city that like.
Nah, because the Live did Tucson their first year and they never came back.
Yeah, so I just wonder if like Tucson doesn't get a big crowd, but like what if it was like I wouldn't do Southern Dunes.
I don't think Tucson does like people. It's nothing to do in Tucson. honestly. And it's like you fly into Phoenix to do stuff, like there's things to do. Tucson, it's just like, what do we really do here? Like the homie Chance from Tucson.
Yeah.
Chance talking about like restaurants and like food and stuff. You get a plethora of that in Phoenix, which I think Tucson people know that, but it's like we go to Tucson, it's like it's not really enjoyable here like that. Yeah, and
I don't know if like the guys the players like to go out there.
Yeah, it's like, man, I want to play this tournament and go home.
Yeah, but I don't know. I maybe like a question for like viewers is like, yo, if there was going to be one in Arizona, like where should it be? Like, right now it's not like coming to my head right now, but I think there are plenty of courses that are like very, very hard.
Yeah,
obviously not like Bethpage, but like yeah, but there's still very, very challenging courses in Arizona. So
yeah, I want to present that question. So for people that's listening, man, right now, obviously the Century is not a tournament this year on the PGA. If they had to add an extra tournament in Arizona, where should it be played? Let us know, man. But Nate, let's switch over to obviously the homies on the LPGA, which is combining with the PGA. You got the Grant Thornton Invitational, which is a co-ed event. Obviously, a PGA player is matched with an LPGA player. And let's just pick one team who you think has a good chance of winning this. Last year, Jake Knapp and I don't know how to pronounce her name, and I don't want to butcher it, won last year. But let's see. Who do you think can win this year?
Dude, I was actually going with Jake Knapp again.
That's fine.
Because he's going with Patty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. There it is.
I wanted to say this because I think
you projected her to win a major too. I think.
I think I projected her to win the international crown or whatever team she was on.
I thought when we did our early predictions for the major, I thought you.
No, I picked Pajari on a Rukon. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There it is.
But I wanted to pick. So this is the thing with LPGA golfers is that, or in this tournament, the thing is I feel like the ladies golfer matters a lot less. And it's the reason why is because the LPGA there was not one like crazy event where this one girl was consistent. I mean, maybe Gino, but she's not in this event. So like out of all the girls in this field, it's like there wasn't one girl that was just consistently better than everybody. Yeah. So like I feel like the guy matters a little bit more, and Jake Knapp can't go low.
Nelly's playing though.
She said,
I'm gonna get a win somehow.
Yeah, I know, but it's like I don't know. Nelly, hasn't. Granted, like she killed it at the CME, and she's been like around like the 5th to 20th mark on every event that she's played in.
For sure.
But I just think the ladies, it's really hard to pick because like what if Angel Yin has a better weekend than Nelly?
I like Angel Yin,
Yeah, or what if Rose Zhang showed up because she showed up for like 2 events this year? Or what if she shows up this weekend? And we get like the fresh out of Stanford.
I think Rose Zhang would be a good pick because remember at the beginning of the year she said she missed being like with the team in that environment. This is the closest you're gonna get to a team event. Dow Championships, but So hopefully,
and we just get like the fresh out of Stanford Rose Zhang. But like Jake Knapp was kind of the guy I was eyeing because if he goes low, I think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
If we get a 61 Jake Knapp, it's over. Man. Game over.
He's capable too.
Yes.
Very, very capable. And this thing could be good for Jake Knapp too because obviously we see him go like 61, 64, and then like a random 75 day, and then like 64. But like let's say if that day he's off and his partner can like pick him up.
Carry it.
It can be super lethal. But for me, bro, just be honest, I'm going with Novak and Lauren Coughlin. One again.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. 2-person event. Obviously, we know how Novak did the Zurich.
That's right.
Won. And Lauren Coughlin at the Dow Championships, she finished in the top 20. So I that's how I did my research. Like, man, who played well in team events this year? Out of these people, those two. So I'm gonna go with the homie Novak, and I'm gonna go with Lauren Coughlin, and I hope they prove me right. And I like that for Novak. He has now played in 2 tournaments since obviously his season been over, which was the RSM Classic, which he did pretty solid, had the lead for a long time, and then he just finished playing the Hero World Challenge. So now, he got a few tournaments under his belt. Obviously, the LPGA season has just been going as it always does. So Lauren Coughlin should still be in form, top form for her to, play well at the Grant Thornton Invitational. So that's who I like for this to come out victorious, man. But again, guys, please, if you're listening, like, subscribe, share, man. Me and Nate have been working hard to grow this podcast. But Nate, yes, I want to move over to the faith portion of the podcast, man. We just want to be transparent in how we, have this discussion here, man. And our discussion today is going to be, why are we as a people afraid to share or display the gospel in our life?
Bro, I don't know. It's tough for me because I feel like if I criticize anyone, I'm like the biggest hypocrite because I'm for sure scared.
I mean, we all are. We all are.
Yeah.
We all have something that we struggle with or scared of. I mean, like Paul said, I'm the worst sinner possible.
Yeah,
and Paul was one of the best, teachers of the gospel, apostles. He was the guy, but he knew that. So I don't want you to have to feel that way. I don't want to have to feel that way. There's truth in that, but just be transparent about it, man. But yeah, I'll let you continue.
Yeah, I will say this. I remember I had a conversation with someone when I was in late high school going into college, and he was one of my good golf buddies of mine, and we hung out all the time. Went to Arizona Rattler games, and
nice.
we play Xbox. And I remember he knew I was a very devout Christian, and I love Jesus. I was, and my life shows it. I volunteer, I do FCA, I go to church, and I'm on social media at the time. I was very open about my faith.
Yeah.
And I remember one time he told me, he's all dude, is it okay that I'm not super Christian? Will you still hang out with me? And I'm bro, I'm at your house right now. And it just sometimes those conversations is man, do I want to start talking about God and the gospel, and then now someone's gonna judge me, and not judge me, but be oh, I can't hang out with this guy because he's too righteous for me, and I kind of get a little bit nervous. I don't think this is right in my
for sure
fear of sharing the gospel or anything like that, but sometimes that is that gives me a little bit of apprehension, just talking about or just professing my faith or that kind of stuff. Is just, dude, is someone just going to be oh, I want to avoid Nate because I feel judged by him, or we talked about last week, he's no fun because he wants to kind of live in the way of righteousness, and avoid certain temptations and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't know if you get because you were in the NFL and you were very vocal about your faith.
For sure, I think everything you're saying, and that's your story, bro. And I think there's so much truth to that. I think some people are afraid to share the gospel because they don't want to be proclaimed as, oh, he's too self-righteous. The fear of association. But there's also the other side of why I think people don't want to share the gospel, because they want to be able to stay in their sin, and they don't want the righteous correction from other brothers in Christ. So it's man, I want to keep drinking and smoking and doing this, but I would not tell anybody I love Jesus because, one, I'm representing it bad, but also I don't want anybody to correct me or convict me. I want to continue to do this. But, my whole reason for wanting to speak about this is because we talked about last week, right? Not knowing Christ and the ramifications for that is eternal damnation. And I don't want anyone to experience that. Unfortunately, people will, but I don't want that. I have a lot of my close best friends, bro, that know I love Jesus. But it's almost oh, Jeremy's our Jesus friend. It's nah, dog, I want us to be a Jesus group. And I think those perceptions of, I don't want to be seen as self-righteous, or I want to stay in my sin, or it's too hard to uphold, which Jesus took that weight off of us. There's nothing you have to uphold per se. We have a responsibility to do good works, but don't think that you're earning salvation. I just want people to, as my pastor say, we need to learn how to care about the destination of our neighbor's soul. And Paul talks about a lot in Scripture how it was by your example that they were encouraged in the faith. That can be by vocalization. That can be by how we walk it out. But we need to learn how to not be ashamed of proclaiming the gospel. Yeah, like I say, if that's in vocalization or if that's in character, man, because there's too much at stake when we do that. And I think, unfortunately, what we have developed is a selfish faith. Well, I'm saved. I'm good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to do that, you're cool. But like, no, we just spoke about this. The ramifications of not knowing Christ is eternal damnation. So why would I have a selfish faith to say, like, well, I'm saved. I ain't going to speak about it. Like, cool, we can keep doing this and playing video games. I won't talk about Jesus. But it's like 1 Peter 3:15. We need to be prepared to have a defense for our reason of the hope, but do it with gentleness and respect. And that's not to say you have to go off proclaiming, like spitting off scripture and stuff, but like,
be in your
reason,
face.
If your reason for the hope is like, hey man, Jesus took my addiction of drinking away. That's your hope, and explain how Jesus did that, bro. The scripture that came to my mind, bro, real quick, is Matthew 5:13-16. I want to find the English Standard Version, even though the Hebrew Israelites will be like the New King James Version. It's like, bro, reading the ESV. Let me find it. English Standard. Boom. So Matthew 5:13-16 says, "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot." Verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify the Father who is in heaven." So, again, when we're talking about having a selfless faith, like, I want you to see me doing good works, but I want you to glorify God in heaven. Because, again, the way we walk out the faith or we proclaim it vocally has huge implications on our neighbor coming to know Christ. So, again, when I ask the question, why are we afraid to share the gospel, knowing that there's a ramifications of not knowing him, why would we be selfish in that? Why would we be selfish in that? If you want to say something, my bad, go ahead, Nate.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, I feel like part of me, I remember when I was in high school, I heard like a saying, it's like, preach the gospel every day, and sometimes if you need to, use words. And I feel like that gives you like an excuse to like not talk about it. Because I think I remember one of my friends who like was really into politics was like, I think one of the reasons why there's a big political divide is because people don't talk anymore. They don't have tough conversations. And I think, yes, like I like the quotes, like, if necessary, use words. But I'm also like, as a generation, I think we're getting away from having tough conversations and just only having superficial ones. And I think, I don't know, it's just like, hey, can you be politically correct? Can you be tasteful at dinners or in the workplace, right? Like, you don't want to get called up by HR, right? There's a lot of these like worldly things that are kind of put in place to more or less act as a speed bump for us having these conversations. But yeah, it's tough though, because it's like, yeah, we're supposed to like, the way we model our behavior should be a reflection of the gospel. It's like, but we are very imperfect examples of the gospel.
Terrible,
you know.
Terrible.
So I think there's a bit of that. That's why we do need to use words. I think that's why we have to have these tough conversations, and it's just none of those are fun. You know, it's like, what do you want to do this weekend? Have a tough conversation with your best friend, or just go hang out and play Xbox? You know.
Yeah, but that's why I reference Paul, because like Paul was just speaking about the word so much, but he was like, I am the worst of all sinners. But he still used his words to proclaim the gospel. And again, guys, as you guys are listening, I'm not perfect at all. I'm the worst of worst. Nate's not perfect. He's the worst of worst. But the thing that is indeed good that we're proclaiming is what Jesus did on the cross, bro. And we want everyone to come to know that. And like I said, bro, like, man, I got a lot of like really close friends, bro. And I love my neighbor, bro. And I think a lot of my friends are just like hesitant, or they acknowledge that there's a Lord, but they're not surrendered to him. There's a fear to surrender to him. Yeah, they're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I know they have the yearning to want to, but they don't know how to, or they're scared to, or their flesh just won't let them. But this is the thing I always say, bro. When you surrender to the gospel, this is the only time when you surrender, it's actually victory. Obviously, in sports, if I say, you know what, I quit, that's a loss in the category. That's a loss on our schedule. But when we surrender to the gospel, that's the only time we see surrendering being positive for a victory, right?
Yeah, it's like joining the winning team.
You're joining the winning team. And again, as Paul said in Colossians 3:2, set your mind on things above and not of this earth. Like, I'm thinking about your soul, the eternal aspect of it, man. I do care about you as you're my neighbor on earth. I genuinely do, but I more so care about the destination of where you're going after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead if you're going to say something.
I do like what you said earlier. I don't know why it just popped in my head, but it's like if like God helped you out of like a tough time, or like an addiction, like substance, like alcohol. I'm like one of my friends in college. He was a gymnast, and it just like by the outside perspective, just didn't seem like a guy that followed Christ at all. He was kind of raised somewhat in a Christian family, but just outside looking in, didn't look like he followed Christ at all. Still love him to death, you know. So I love it. Sure. I love everybody, if you follow God or not, you know.
Right. Oh, for sure. 100%. Yeah.
But anyways, I remember like one time I called him. He was like one of my best friends, and he was like, "Hey, Nate." He opened up to me about how him and his wife were having a tough time getting pregnant, and then one day he like just prayed and was just like, "God, like help me," and then he felt like the Holy Spirit was like, "Hey, you're going to stop drinking alcohol. You're going to try to like be healthy and all these things." And then sure enough, it was like a month later after he like kind of prayed and was like, "All right, I'm going to follow God." They were pregnant.
Amen.
And now it's crazy to see this guy's life turn around. And I remember like when we were on the phone, he lives in Dallas, Texas now, speaking of Dallas, Texas. But we were on the phone. He's like, "Nate, is it all right if I like pray for you?" And I'm like, "Dude, I just want you to know, like, college you would have never done this." And it was just, I don't know. And he would sometimes like tell me and my brother like that, like, yeah, like the fact that you guys were in our lives really helped, just because you guys were kind of like a solid Christian, friends and stuff like that. And that
good job,
really
Aaron.
helped them. Yeah, good job, Aaron. Finally did something right, you know. But like he's like, and it's weird. Like sometimes you don't know the impact you have just by living out the gospel, and but yeah, I just like when you told me about like, yeah, sometimes like those testimonies are like good segues in, because like how many people who don't love Jesus have a tough time conceiving, right?
100%.
Yeah. So and like
yeah.
Yeah, and like if you can kind of like walk through them with that, hey, that could be a little opportunity to be like, hey, I mean, we're not shoving the gospel down their throat, but right. What were you gonna say?
No, because you just triggered me. You said, man, if we can walk that with them, bro. Galatians 6:2, it says, "Carry one another's burdens, so this fulfills the law of Christ," bro. Not a word has been said, but for some reason, it's like I want to carry this burden with you. I've been through this before, bro. Like, let me walk alongside with you, and we see the law of Christ be fulfilled in doing that. So I think you make a great point when you said that in that story. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, but that's pretty much I was gonna say is too. Like I like that what you said is like, dude, if you just talk about like, don't be afraid to mention God. Like, hey, I know you went through this. How'd you get out of it? It's like, well, you could talk about the things you actually did. Like, well, I tried this, but really, like, I was steadfast in prayer, and I know God answered my prayers, and I know God was listening, and it was in God's sovereignty that to help me get out of whatever situation it is, because God does what's best for us in this life and in the next. But
I love that, bro.
I think this is did we quote the Sermon on the Mount last week? No,
I don't think so. Go ahead though.
No, but I was gonna say it was like it was gonna be like week 3 of quoting Sermon on the Mount, because we did Matthew 6, and then you said Matthew 5 today. I think we did Matthew 6 twice too, different parts of Matthew 6.
Sure, I
because we talked about like, because you were talking about like fear of the NFL being done.
Oh,
with
that
the
was
NFL.
Psalm. Oh no, it was Matthew 11. I talked about.
Oh, I
last
thought it was
week.
Matthew 6.
No, Matthew 11. I think that was our.
That's not Sermon on the Mount anymore. Yeah.
Nah, Matthew 11. I was talking about like blessed are those who are not offended by me. So I was talking about that one, and then the fear part was Psalm 56:3. that says, when I'm scared or when I'm in fear, I put my trust in the Lord. So
I thought I could have swore
yeah.
because like when I get like super anxious, I'll just like Matthew 6. And I just read through
Amen.
like look at the flowers on the ground, look at the birds in the sky. Like
I think you brought that up. You just didn't quote that it was Matthew 6. I think
really?
that's what happened.
Oh shoot! Okay,
Yeah.
Never mind. I thought it was you.
Maybe I did. Maybe I did. I don't. Maybe I did because I was talking about God's provision as well.
Hey, when you black
One of us
out
did.
because the Holy Spirit's talking through you, you don't remember. You know that's what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do want to conclude with this, guys. So obviously, if you've given your life to Christ, or the Lord has given you a word, like, do not be afraid to display that. And I want to end here with Luke 8:16. It says, "No one after lighting a lamp covers it up with a jar or puts it under a bed, but puts it on a stand so that those who enter may see the light. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything in secret that will not be known to come to light." I guess I'm still reading this. Really, Luke 8:16 to 19. It says, "Take care then how you hear, for to the ones who has, more will be given, and from the one who has not, even what he thinks that he has will be taken away." Then his mother and his brothers came to him, but they could not reach him because he was in the crowd. But ultimately, guys, again, do not be afraid to let your light shine, man, when it comes to the gospel. There's too many. There's ramifications for people not knowing Jesus, and we should be loving our neighbor and caring about the destination of our soul. So again, if the Lord has given you a word, or you've given your life to Christ, again, Luke 8:16, one more time. "No one after lighting a lamp covers it with a jar or puts it under a bed, but puts it on a stand, so those who may enter may see the light." And as me and they have referenced, we're not saying go out there and be the guys on the sidewalk, but like, be unashamed, man. Like again, Matthew 11:6, "Blessed are those who are not offended by me." Speak about his word, man. Speak about the good he's done in your life. Speak about how he's gotten you out of terrible situations. And that can be using the verbiage of scripture or just telling your own testimony, man. But we need to learn how to have a selfless faith and not just hide it and be like, well, I'm saved, I'm cool, do what you want. Nah, man, because I know if you do what you want, the ramifications of that are not good. So, again, guys, we appreciate you watching or listening to this episode of Golf and Gospel. Again, please, or podcast, excuse me, because Golf and Gospel is its own separate thing. But I appreciate you watching or listening to this episode of Golf and Gospel podcast. Please like and subscribe, share, man. If you like what we said and maybe you want to jump on to be join us one day, man, let us know, man. We appreciate everyone who viewed this episode, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.